We will begin shortly, people. Just hold on, listen to this music, and we will get started really soon. Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Anime4All podcast with music this time because the last one apparently didn't have music. That was my bad. I am here with Spirit and Magic Helmet.
Hi.
Okay, you're being heard. Thank the Lord. 2025, and I finally managed to figure out audio. Took me about time. And with that, we are actually back with the regular scheduled list of what we usually talk about here with you can see the title. We're gonna talk about Rurouni Kenshin and Dragon Prince along with a little bit of Daima, but I'm gonna get Daima out of the way because like not much to talk about. That was an episode. I mean, that's all I'm gonna really say. Not much lore implications. It was more just regular Dragon Ball fare. Just an adventure. Not gonna really complain. Apparently, some people didn't like that, and some people did. But it is what it is. I don't really got much to say about what happened in that episode. Their ship was damaged, and uh, what's her name? I forgot her name. I don't know what I'm
The
gonna call her.
mechanic lady?
The mechanic. Yeah, I forgot her name.
I forgot her name too.
Frick, I forgot her name. I don't know why I'm gonna call her Pom Pom. That's not her name. uh, but they had her fix the ship. They went on an adventure in a giant place. The Namekian dude freaked out because they were on planet Mega, and they met a giant dog and a giant child. Uh, apparently of docile giants. Apparently, which is kind of funny. That they're not a threat because they don't leave because they don't really care. They're just really laid back.
Is it Pansy?
Pansy, yes, that's her name. Pansy fixed the ship with Bulma's help because Bulma always carries a capsule with her. Also, I thought she was the one that created the capsule corp thing. Was her father the one that created it? Because she makes mention that her father is the one that created the capsule thing.
Yeah, I thought the father created it, and she's worked on it since then. But I think her father invented it. That's how they got rid of it.
I don't know. I misremembered details then because that's who I am, and I'm unapologetic about it. No, I'm just kidding. I guess like on the Dragon Ball note, this Dragon Ball General, wanted to just really quickly, I know I showed you that clip of Markiplier and his stance on Goku versus Vegeta. And you said that he took the Vegeta pill. I didn't know this was such a big deal, and I'm not the Goku versus Vegeta thing, but specifically on Vegeta. Apparently the fandom, there's some people in the fandom who did not enjoy and did not think Vegeta should have gotten Super Saiyan 3. Even on a clip, even on a video, I saw somebody who typed down, and I should have had this pulled up so I could read it verbatim. But basically what the comment said, and I don't know what this person must not like Vegeta as a character at all or whatever, but because this is gonna lead into something I want to actually bring up, and it's a question, so I am going somewhere with this, but I just kind of wanted to go through how I got here. Vegeta, they said Vegeta fans should be grateful that Vegeta already got, over the years, like Vegeta. Vegeta's gotten as strong as Goku. He didn't need Super Saiyan 3. There's a lot of things, like apparently it was made clear that they did not enjoy Vegeta getting Super Saiyan 3. And they did also bring up that Piccolo gets overlooked, even though supposedly Piccolo is supposed to be Akira's favorite character. And I will touch on that in a minute. But it was like this comment that I just said, there's like, wow, that while I agree with so much you said, on the comment of Vegeta getting Super Saiyan 3 those couple episodes ago, it's not about, at least to me, and I'm taking it like, it's not about if Vegeta deserved that glow or whatever, because Vegeta definitely deserved to win, because people who do not remember Dragon Ball Z, and apparently a lot of you fools don't, Vegeta didn't get any wins at all. Like, the times that he should have, like, I think the only win he got was when he defeated and killed Android 20, and Android 20 died. No, was it Android 20 or was it 21? I forgot which one. They might have been Android 20, but he killed Android 20, and that was about it that I remember. Like, and he killed Android 20 because Android 20 got cocky. Android 18 humbled him. Frieza killed him. Cell humbled him. Actually, in fact, Cell smacked him around. Cell Juniors were giving him a problem. He was consistently lagging behind Goku, even though he really shouldn't have been. He blew up Boo, but Boo didn't die. He trained within the Hairbog time chamber, but like not much came of that. And I think if at that training I'm talking about, he trained in there with Trunks, but then he came out and he didn't get a chance to fight Cell. Other than that one exploding, that one moment he got really upset when Future Trunks got killed. Vegeta didn't get a lot of wins, and then what that comment seemed like all we were really doing was compounding the stuff that happened to Vegeta in Super as this one big old like this should make up this should more than make up for the stuff that happened to Vegeta in Z. And like, while this isn't me fighting or being a Vegeta stan or whatever like that, even though I do like Vegeta, he's definitely gotten up there as one of my favorite characters to watch. The idea that Vegeta doesn't need anything, I think is such a dumb idea. And I think this is coming from like a place of people who do not remember Dragon Ball Z, and then people who watched it who don't remember it or remember very, very few things about Dragon Ball Z. When talk about characters, and while I'm on the topic of forgetting things about Z, like Piccolo, I think is an example of another character that I just forgot about some stuff, and you could probably help clarify this because I think you remember this a bit better than I would. So in Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo started out getting stuff right. He was like important. Like, he didn't die saving Gohan, right? Like
no. I don't think he's ever tried to save Gohan when his life was on the line.
No, he's died. He's died saving Gohan. It was Nappa who killed him. That moment when like Gohan was about to get hit with a blast, and for whatever reason Piccolo, this is back when Piccolo was still coming off the evil side, and he was having a change of heart. He got in front of a blast to save Gohan, and then he flat out dies at the end. It's in you probably remember this in the Team 4-Star version of it, where it was like the dodge joke was becoming a lot more popular, and he just dies like after he tells Gohan that he changed him and whatnot, that he never saw him. Gohan never saw him as a threat. But because I thought the same thing, that Piccolo never died in Dragon Ball Z, but no, he actually died at least one time.
I'm sorry, I thought you said Vegeta died saving Gohan. That's why I was confused.
No, Piccolo, sorry.
Yeah, Piccolo definitely.
Piccolo's died once. And I was trying to rack my brain. I was like, has Piccolo ever met King Kai canonically? And at first I thought the answer was no. But no, actually he has.
And
it was after that time he died saving Gohan. So my question is, this is gonna probably lead not into a rant, but probably something that I guess kind of like makes people who are fans of Piccolo upset, and rightfully so. Why didn't he get the King Kai fist? Because he actually has met King Kai in the canon. Like this isn't I don't this is a part of like when Yamcha, Tia, and Chaozu met King Kai, because I don't think that was canon.
What is the King Kai fist?
Kaioken. It's just a little translation in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Piccolo met King Kai, so technically speaking, he should have the Kaioken. But King Kai never taught it to him for some really weird reason. And I don't understand why. Piccolo should have had a really interesting power-up, and probably would have been using it a lot more efficiently than Goku. And I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't think there's any unless there is some unspecified restriction with the Kaioken. I don't understand why he doesn't have it. And I feel like maybe you had asked this question some time ago. Did he have it? I don't remember. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. I feel like you have asked this question though. But yeah, now I'm thinking about it, like, that is an odd thing. That is an oddity. But then also to piggyback off of that, or to continue on from where I'm going to get to the point I'm trying to make. Markiplier kind of goes on this whole tirade. And I didn't know he felt this way. This is the first video evidence I had suspicions, but I didn't really. But this is the first video evidence of him going on a tirade about how much he hates Goku and how much he likes Vegeta as a character. But as I was watching that thing, I showed it to you specifically because what I wanted to go off of was while I agree with some points that Markiplier made, I don't agree with all, because he forgets some really pivotal moments that defined Goku to go on a tirade of Goku is a horrible character or whatever like that. And it even feeds into a whole idea, and a lot of the comments kind of agree with this sentiment too. Like, you know, he's missing some important stuff, like about some of the stuff like Goku being a horrible father. I think that's just meant to show how carefree he is. And Goku has in fact died for his son once that I'm well aware of, and that was during the Cell Saga when he decided to teleport Cell to King Kai's planet to blow it up and kill King Kai, and that's when we found out King Kai is actually alive, which still
He wasn't dying specifically for his son though. He was dying for like to save the world.
he still saved his son.
Yeah, he saved his son, but it wasn't specifically what he was doing. He was saving everybody.
Really undercut my like the point I was trying to make.
I'm sorry, it's just true.
I can't even. I guess what I'm saying is like, well, I agree that Goku
he also
characteristic.
saved Captain Ginyu in frog form, but that's not specifically why he did it either.
He didn't save the frog.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
The frog was alive at that time, and it was on the Earth.
Was it on Earth?
Yeah, Bulma kept it in her like little pond in like a little nature section of her mansion.
I mean, now you say that, I'm remembering that he does come back and return and free the Resurrection X, but I swear for years I thought he died on the planet Namek. Well, I cannot make any point beyond this one. That was completely shut down.
Sorry.
I guess I agree with Markiplier then, apparently.
Does that cut out all of the other points you were making? I mean, it's just one point I countered.
It literally kind of just shut down everything. Because, like, I guess the other point that can be made is, like, I know some people are complaining. Oh, that's what this, another thing, that comment I was talking about where he was complaining about Vegeta shouldn't have Super Saiyan 3, which, by the way, I want to actually point out that comment, and I want to just make a mockery of that comment real quick. Now, he says that it did not need to happen. I actually beg to differ, because one of the things that I will say, and it's been, at least for me, it's been a mystery. Maybe I'm the only one who had thought about this as a big old mystery. Was like back when Z had ended and then Super starts, and then Vegeta suddenly has Super Saiyan Blue, and it's stated that Vegeta trained to gain Super Saiyan God. So that's how he was able to gain access to Super Saiyan Blue later, because he was able to train and get up that level to be able to obtain the Divine Key. While Goku didn't, he had to like have that shared with him. But all that being said, Super Saiyan 3, I think it was needed specifically because like it was gonna be a question for years down the road if it was never answered, and because Akira died, there was no way we're gonna get the answer unless it showed up in the anime that he was working on before he passed. Super Saiyan 3 was needed for, I would say, it's not necessarily a plot hole, but I would say it was a plot hole in terms of power level, because like it's been debated ever since it was even brought up in Battle of Gods if Vegeta was as strong as Goku. Well, if he's as strong as Goku, as Whis has been saying, there's one thing that Vegeta's lacking that Goku already has, and it would just make sense to show us that he's capable of doing it. I think Super Saiyan 3 was needed specifically just from a character perspective and a plot perspective that Vegeta does in fact have it, and it isn't just a fan theory that he could transform into Super Saiyan 3. He just doesn't do it. Him doing it in the anime, to me, proves my point that like he just does not do it because he doesn't think it's worth it. And I mean, even with that last point, that's just me putting speculation that he just doesn't do it because he doesn't think it's worth it. Speculation, I will admit that. But the fact he can do it is proven here, because a lot of people didn't think for years. This is a thing for years. People didn't think Vegeta was capable of doing Super Saiyan 3. And for a time there, people didn't think Vegeta was capable of doing Super Saiyan 2. But that was disproven actually relatively easily in the anime. If you actually look specifically at Majin Vegeta, that was Super Saiyan 2. It just had a coating of Majin all over it because Vegeta was mind controlled, quote unquote.
Mm.
But to go from there, because there's nothing really can be said about that. There was in the comment they bring up that Vegeta was a baby throughout most of Z, and he was always complaining about this or that, and like while I will admit, yes, Vegeta was a complainer throughout most of Z, and without the context of Super and Whis being an angel and stuff like that, and him saying that Vegeta, for whatever reason, Vegeta was lagging behind Goku, and that shouldn't have been happening. To me, kind of just justifies a lot of what was going on in Z. Yeah, while it wasn't fun listening to Vegeta complain about why Kakarot was able to do this and stuff like that, like at the end of the day, Vegeta was training, and it wasn't like he was sitting there complaining and not training, trying to close the gap between him and Kakarot as he kept on trying to do throughout most of Z. And then thinking that he made to close the gap at the end of Z, to be upset that Goku was hiding Super Saiyan 3. At the time, it was like, why is he complaining about Super Saiyan 3? Goku couldn't like use it all that effectively. But if you actually look at it from Vegeta's perspective and really thinking about it, yeah, it is kind of messed up that Goku kind of hid that from him. I mean, even if it wasn't just to use it on him, he should have just showed him that he could transform into Super Saiyan 3. And before people say that would waste time, what do you call him transforming to Super Saiyan 3 for Majin freaking Buu? He wasted enough time as it was. Whatever, it wouldn't change the plot of the dang story. Yeah, Goku probably would have went to die sooner if he had done that. But it was like, would it have really mattered? Goku didn't, at that point in the story, wasn't all that involved. He really wasn't. Yeah, maybe the fusion wouldn't have, like, the fusion dance wouldn't have gotten revealed, but there's probably ways they could have gotten the fusion dance out to out in the story. I don't think Goku being on Earth was a necessary thing, because he can talk to people through King Kai.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, Vegeta's complaining, while kind of annoying. I mean, if you really think about it and really do think about it, yeah, Vegeta's complaining is kind of justified. Vegeta literally came to Earth stronger than Goku, and then after losing to him by sheer luck, by the way, Goku literally almost died fighting him. Goku probably would have gotten killed if it wasn't for Yajirobe rushing in there and cutting off Vegeta's tail in the middle of the transformation.
Yeah, it took all of them to take him down.
Like, Goku literally nearly died. Like, Vegeta almost had him. Mm-hmm. You know, it was like honestly, when you take into all of that, yeah, I if I was Vegeta, I would be complaining, because like, what in the world? This by all accounts lower class Saiyan whose power level shouldn't be escalating, because by the way, they didn't know that they could train and get stronger. That's another thing too. Saiyan society had them believe that the power level you were born with was the power level you were going to be with until you died. So it's one of those things. Oh, and by the way, Markiplier says that Goku does not care about saying the Planet Vegeta. Vegeta had to sit there and watch Planet Vegeta die. I mean, Planet Vegeta just explode. Markiplier, Vegeta did not see Planet Vegeta destroyed. You wanna know how I know this? Dragon Ball Broly, the movie that came out, the last one, well, before Super, that Akira worked on. Vegeta was told that his planet was destroyed. He didn't see it. So the fact that Vegeta had to relive his like Saiyan heritage dying is kind of bogus, because like, he's kind of in the same boat with Goku. Goku didn't know, and if I want to be honest, I don't think Vegeta cared that much about his Saiyan brethren. At least not all that much. I think he cared more about the land that he would roll over versus like the people that he would roll over at the time. Anyway, Vegeta has obviously changed for the better, but he didn't see Planet Vegeta explode. because he was on the side of everybody else thinking that a meteor destroyed him. I don't even think Vegeta even assumed that it was Frieza until like. I suspect that he probably didn't suspect it was Frieza not until like Dragon Ball Z started, and like he came to Earth looking for the Dragon Balls to gain immortality. I don't think he suspected Frieza until that point. So the fact that he had to Markiplier using that whole, he had to sit there and watch Planet Vegeta die. I was like, no, he didn't. He was off world, someplace else, with Raditz, Nappa, some other people who I don't even know, who I don't think even have names. He didn't see Planet Vegeta die. So I mean, now I'm not saying that his pain isn't real. I'm just saying that like using that as an argument against Goku, I don't think it's really fair because like he didn't see it either. He didn't see it die either. Now maybe Vegeta had saw it as he was leaving the planet. Maybe. I mean, freaking Goku saw Planet Vegeta kind of explode on his way out, I think. Maybe not, I don't really know. I know Goku was sent to Earth to protect him because his mother and father wanted to get him after Frieza was taken care of. By the way, it's really messed up that, you know, Goku never got a chance to see his mother and father again. Like, they literally sent him off to, Bardock had him sent off because he didn't want to be on the planet. And apparently Mel Sands don't even really care about their children. So it's kind of interesting that Bardock wanted to save his son. Like, I think Gina even brings up like what's going on with you, and normally Mel Sands don't even care about their children. Well, no, small bit. But I'm saying like that's just like one of those like tidbits like Vegeta. I mean, while I do sympathize with Vegeta, I really freaking do. People who say that Super Saiyan 3, because apparently people were complaining, but if you didn't know this stuff, people were actually complaining about Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. I don't know why they were complaining. Apparently some people just did not like it. I don't understand why. Like, let Vegeta have this win. Let Vegeta at least getting the Dragon Ball actually be awesome. Like, for whatever reason. Now, for the people like Spear here who are more Piccolo fans, I sympathize with you. I do not know what they're gonna do for Piccolo here. My suspicion was that maybe they were gonna have him fuse a Neva, but my problem with that is like, it doesn't seem like Piccolo is all that much stronger in Super Hero, or even Super for that matter. So I don't know how they would explain the lack of power that Piccolo had. The idea that Namekians have all kinds of different powers, maybe they could explain as if Piccolo just didn't really show what he was capable of, but still kind of begs the question, why didn't he use it during the Tournament of Power? If he had all these abilities. So I don't know. Giving Piccolo a power up here, even if it is him fusing with Neva, Neva says he's not gonna leave the Demon World because he's hoping that his Namekian fountain's gonna come back to the Demon World, which is interesting. But I guess it kind of gives them interesting ideas, like if their planet gets destroyed again, maybe they just go back to the Demon World. Oh, I guess speaking of going back to Demon World, one last thing. What do you think of Goma having the Warp Samas disabled?
It's a good tactical move, but it seems like it's disrupting all three Demon Worlds by a lot. It's a good tactical move for this one specific goal of like getting the Dragon Balls.
But I wonder why Supreme Kai's younger brother was all like, "Oh, what have I done?" I don't. It seems like there was a side effect we didn't see, and I'm like wondering what that side effect was.
I would say that probably civilization is going to go into chaos now over it.
I mean, I guess that would make sense. It just seemed like he was like, if that was the case, like I feel like maybe he's overly upset about it than he should be. But maybe it's that big of a problem. Should now Warp Sama. It's kind of funny that he just went straight to sleep. Like I wonder if he's gonna start. If he's just gonna float there asleep, or is he gonna like slowly fall into the ocean and never wake up again? Okay, with that.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
What do you think the purpose of bringing with so many limited episodes that they have to do for the story? What do you think the purpose of bringing these giants into the world was? What are they establishing for the greater story with them?
If I had to be real, no reason. They're just wasting an episode. But if I had to be optimistic, maybe they're planning to bring a new character into the fray, possibly. Or there's gonna be a character that's gonna look like them, but it's not really a giant. I really couldn't tell you. I would say it was kind of weird that they brought in the mega planet for no real reason. Couldn't tell you why they did what they did.
Yeah, it showed off their strength pretty well. I mean, Vegeta and Goku, did they even turn Super Saiyan 2? They didn't go to 3.
I guess they did go Super Saiyan too. Not that I could see.
Goku didn't even go Super Saiyan for a while.
Well, he went Super Saiyan. He just went Super Saiyan inside the bag of the child's book bag, and he couldn't find his way out.
Right, but he was like not very. He wasn't so intimidated by this guy that he thought he had to go Super Saiyan. He was trying to do it without Super Saiyan for a while.
I mean, they said they're normally docile and laid back. They don't really engage in much conflict.
Yeah.
So maybe that's maybe Supreme Kai saying that might be a foreshadowing. Maybe something's gonna happen where they aren't gonna be laid back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they didn't really seem to be all that powerful. They just seemed to be, the only thing that was really powerful about them was their size. I mean, Piccolo couldn't even find his way around them. The Piccolo spent most of the time away from them, like a smart character. He didn't try getting involved with them.
He shot a beam at them once.
But so did Goku and Vegeta, and it didn't do anything.
Yeah, it seemed like actual beams weren't doing anything to them. The dog too. It seemed like they could punch him, and that seemed to do the more damage than a beam.
It might have been their size. I mean, to be real.
Yeah. But I've wondered about that. I'm like, why is this episode happening? What are they establishing right now that's so important?
I mean, to be real, I don't think they're establishing anything.
They have such a limited time to tell the story. And I've already said, like, they're really cramming a lot into the greater story here. So it just struck me as, like, there might be some purpose to what they're doing.
I think it's just the main Dragon Ball. Because they did this in Dragon Ball.
In the episode Spare Time, kind of, they established that, like, sorry, that they established that, like, the thing was being shut down, but, like, that's all the episode did for as far as advancing the plot that I could tell.
As I say, I don't think this really meant anything. I mean, other than maybe that this world, like, there's a lot more to this world. Because I mean, Piccolo goes on and says that's the demon world for you. Maybe we were just showing that, like, there was a lot more to the Dragon Ball world than we think and we know. Even the demon world is just as vast.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good point. I also got the feel that the show was implying that they were on a different planet in the demon world at that point, but I didn't know they were changing planets.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the demon world has an atmosphere where they have planets inside planets inside planets. Like, what is going on? As for what this episode was for, I couldn't really tell you. I mean, I came out of it, didn't even think much about it. I legitimately didn't think much about it. The most thinking I'm doing right now about it is, like, right this minute. Like, not much was there for my brain to chew on and try to spit something out. Because we didn't see a Rainsu. No, we did. We see around Arainsu right before they shut down the Warp Sama. She talked to. I forgot his name. Glorio. Yeah, Glorio. She talked to Glorio. She must not know the Warp Sama has been disabled. We'll probably find out soon. And wherever the heck her minions, Ku and Do are.
Who are Ku and Do? I don't remember them.
Majin Ku and Majin Do, the Majin that she
Oh,
made.
now I remember what you're talking about.
I didn't bother saying their Majin names because it's not really. I don't think it's a part of their name. And it may be, and I'm just wrong.
Title.
Huh?
Title like Master Roshi. Majin Buu, Master Roshi.
Yeah, no, does Master Roshi actually have a first name? See, I thought Roshi was his first name.
Bob.
Bob Roshi, your car is on.
Works for me.
With that, we'll talk about Rurouni Kenshin, the episode that just came back. Oh shoot, hit my mic. Speaking of episode, like anime that makes a return, Rurouni Kenshin comes back, and it comes back with a vengeance. Episode pretty much. Majority of the episode is essentially Ayoshi versus Okina, and to surmise what I have to say about this episode, I'm gonna say I expected Okina to go down. I didn't think it was gonna be easy, but I didn't expect him to beat Ayoshi. What I didn't expect was Ayoshi to go as hard as he did and to kill him. And I guess I should have expected that.
It's a shame though. He was a cool character.
Yeah, they were setting him up to be like, I suspect there's like, I mean, if he was gonna fight somebody, it was gonna be somebody that was gonna kill him. They kept building him up to be a character that wasn't to be trifled with, so it was an interesting way for him to go out. Misao seeing that too is even more interesting now, because now she sees that the guy that she's infatuated with might not be the guy she originally thought. But knowing how anime goes and stuff like that, she's not gonna give up on him yet. And based on the title of the next episode, she hasn't given up on him yet. But that was like the fight in that one. It was actually really nice. I liked everything about it. I like the flipping back and forth, the foreshadowing between like the ninjas that were taking care of Misao, saying that, you know, what's better just to tell her as she go and try to do what she can do, versus not telling her where to go, which shows that Misao is stubborn, and like, you know, if they didn't tell her, she was gonna find out on her own, which is even more interesting too. Like, I think they're setting up for her to do something within the story. I don't know what they're setting her up to do. Again, I don't remember her character all that well. In fact, I didn't even know she existed until like the beginning to the intro song of the last part of season 2. I forgot all about her. I was like, oh, that's right. There was a Kanochi chick that was hanging around. I was like, oh, that's right. I forgot about her. I'm having this. I'm realizing I'm having this thing where I'm forgetting female characters that I don't mean to.
Uh-huh.
This is the second one I've forgotten about. I was like, I don't know who else I've forgotten about. I'm really nervous. Okay, speaking of intros, the intro to this particular part 2, they showed the 10 swords in the intro. I don't know if you saw that, but
I did. That was kind of cool.
okay,
they were all very different. It was just a teaser. They flew through them really quickly, so you couldn't get too much of a look.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, which is all interesting. I think I saw I forgot the name of the dude who taught Sanosuke the layer technique. I completely forgot his name, but I think he was in there and he looked like he had a weapon. I think that might have been him. I don't really know. There was a dude that looked like he had like a bandana on, and he looked like he had a weapon. He looked as built as that dude, so I suspected it must have been him. But let's see, Okina versus Ayoshi. Oh yeah, Shishio. I'll get to Kenshin and his master in a minute, but Shishio and his whole thing. We find out a little bit more about him, specifically about his body composition. Um, he's hot. Literally, his body temperature, he cannot regulate it. What do
No
you think about
homo.
his body temperature?
I know.
He can't
I was just
regulate it.
I was just making it clear that it's no homo.
Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to get past it. If you couldn't tell, his body temp, he can't regulate it. Apparently, it's going up and it's messing with his brain. And he even brings up here that it might be what's causing him to think the way he's thinking. But I thought that was interesting that he decided to like kind of have Shisho kind of blame something beyond himself for what he's doing. What would you think about that? Like the whole idea that his burns burn off his sweat glands, and because of that he can't sweat, and because of him not being able to sweat, his body temperature is on the rise in his body, potentially frying his organs and his brain.
I thought it was kind of bullshit.
I think this is a cool thing about his character, but of course you're gonna.
Why is it a cool thing? Like his brain is bubbling. Like why is he normal?
I mean, most anime, the characters that supposedly should have died from mind-ending injuries still are living for a time being. It isn't like he's gonna be living forever. He made it really clear that it seems like he might have a time limit.
Yeah.
If his brain is bubbling, yeah, he's got a time limit. But I think it's just kind of cool that like it might explain why he's able to emit flames and why that one scene we saw where his sword just ignited something. It might just explain, yeah, it's supernatural, but at the same time, like what is the hidden Mitsurugi? Like a sword that's capable of turning the tide of a war. Oh come on. That's never happened in real life. Because I feel like if it did, we would have heard about it by this point. I just think it's kind of.
For sure.
I'm just saying, like, it's just to me, it's like a cool aspect about Shusho is that okay, he's got like a supernatural aspect to him. Like, this is gonna be an interesting fight between him and Kenshin when we get down to it. I just think it's a cool thing, and I remember thinking that was kind of like I remember thinking at the time. I think I remember specifically when I was watching either reading whatever I was doing this when I was a long time ago. I was like, wait, is he emitting flames? I remember wondering this entire time when I was like watching or trying to read and figure out what's going on with him, and they confirm it in the thing like he actually is like emitting flames, and it might be unrealistic, but like what about spontaneous combustion? Like I mean, hey, maybe this is what this is based off of. I know a lot of people don't believe in spontaneous combustion, but it's like gotta come from somewhere. I mean, not everything that happens in life can be explained away by science. As much as science wants to make you believe otherwise. I'm not anti-science, by the way. I'm just saying words on both
Why are you
sides of it.
anti-science?
Huh?
Next year you're gonna be telling me you're an anti-vaxxer.
Oh please! If I was an anti-vaxxer, I wouldn't be alive right now. Yeah, I'm calling out all anti-vaxxers. 1 minute.
I hope our visitor in Brazil isn't an anti-vaxxer because they're going to be very offended if they are.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I heard a sniper rifle click in the background when I said that.
No, I was just saying I hope our visitor in Brazil isn't an anti-vaxxer because then they would have been very offended.
I mean, to all anti-vaxxers, I'm gonna say what I said to all billionaires on a stream that is no longer live on my channel. I don't care. I didn't say those exact words to the billionaires, but we're not gonna do this as a podcast. We're syndicated television, dang it. No, we're not. We're not. We are not. Far from it.
TV.
Huh?
As seen on TV.
Oh please no. No. But it's really quick to bounce off of the Chisho thing. We see Kenshin. Not much going on there other than Kenshin fighting his old master and his old master trying to trying to retrain him up on his trying to see where he's at, where his of his swordsmanship skills. Apparently, according to him, he's rusty. Then I was like, dang, Kenshin's rusty. He's quick. Like, what are you talking about? But like, if this is rusty, I would hate to see Kenshin at like peak physical condition. Uh,
Yeah,
like if
I'm
that is,
guessing we will after some training.
huh?
I'm guessing we will after some training.
Possibly. I mean, like the way he was talking about it, like, it just seemed weird. But I wonder how much quicker. I mean, he said Kenshin was relying too much on seeing his opponent's movement, and then that was kind of his problem. It's like, weird. That's kind of Kenshin's bread and butter is his eyesight. But okay. His master like showing him up too, and he's like, if you can't land a hit on me, I'm not gonna teach you this ultimate technique. I was like, really, dude? We're doing this now. You gotta like stop trying to hit me, type of thing.
Quoting the Matrix at us now.
I mean, it might as well. This is kind of what that situation was like. The only thing is like now the guy trying to hit the guy in the Matrix like, is a lot more skilled, but hey.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else in the Kenshin?
He actually drew blood from him too. He gave him a pretty good cut in the shoulder.
With the Master Kenshin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that technique he used apparently that he hit him with the scabbard first and then the sword. I was like, jeez. And Kenshin didn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm. He did see it coming, but he couldn't do anything about it by the time he did.
AKA, he didn't see it coming.
He saw it coming after the scabbard connected, but it was too late.
AKA, sorry to just.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just saying, it's like if he didn't normally, if he saw it coming, he would react to it. He didn't see it coming. If he just saw the first part of the attack, but he didn't see the finisher, and that's all that matters.
Mm.
That really, I don't know really what matters in the middle of a fight. There's no that Kenshin got shown up by his old master, which makes sense. I mean, the guy taught him everything that he knows. So if there's anybody that can show Kenshin up, it would be his old master. And this technique better be worth it though. It better not be some like really random like powerful mirage move that does nothing to the to the opponent. It probably fit Kenshin's motif now. Not want to kill anybody. I'm trying to think. I guess Kaoru and Yayako are heading back to the village now because like they told Misa what was going on and she ran off to see Ayoshi and Okina. I sure hope they give Okina a proper funeral and burial. Don't just leave him back there.
Why wouldn't they?
I mean, I feel like based on his importance to the clan, I feel like they would give him a proper burial.
Right, and I was just saying, why wouldn't they?
Because, oh, that's what you're. Oh, sorry, I got confused. I don't know. You never know. Yeah, Misa will be really upset with him and just leave him dying there. I don't know. Or maybe he asked to be left back there. I don't know. He's the kind of old man that would probably do that.
That'd be weird. Just leave him there for like what, the police to clean up?
Mm.
I don't think that's how he wants to go.
I don't think he wanted to go at all. I mean, he literally brought in his steel tonfa that he used to beat the first master, and apparently Ayoshi said, "Oh, hold my beer," and he managed to cut it anyway.
Uh-huh.
That was interesting.
I thought that was pretty brutal.
Well, I mean,
He
Ayoshi
can cut through anything, and it made me wonder if he's going to be able to cut through Kenshin's sword.
I don't think Kenshin's gonna let him. Cause like what Okina was doing was blocking with his weapon. Kenshin's capable of like causing you to drop your sword. Not that saying that he'll like not that saying it's gonna be easy to make Ayoshi drop his sword, but
Mhm.
I feel like he can still manage to make him drop his sword. So like I don't think Kenshin was gonna let him. Now the scabbard maybe, but the sword itself no.
Yeah, it's just because he said anything, it can cut through anything. That's what made me wonder.
But that's just him being him and saying I'm gonna cut through. You can't stop me from cutting anything. I'll cut whatever. Because I mean, what he did, it wasn't like it was a simple sword slice. Ayoshi threw it like did his first sword slash, hit the tonfa, and he came back around with the other sword and then slammed it right in there. That's the only reason why it really cut the tonfa. But it wasn't like he truly cut. I mean, he more like hammered his sword through the tonfa and then make quick work of the old man. I swear that old man I thought the old man had more up his sleeve than the tonfa, but I guess he's old too, so it's one of those things where he isn't in his top peak performance, like age that that he would have been a true threat to him. But yeah, it's sad that the old man went out like that. I was like, man, that was a cool character. Now he's gone because he sided with the enemy, quote unquote.
Yeah, I think that's a really real bummer too. I really like that character and wanted to see more of him. I was surprised how strong he was.
I mean, I wasn't like I literally went in there thinking like, okay, he gained Ayoshi's like respect. I mean, he lost it later, but he had gained his respect. Apparently, he was strong enough to battle against like the original master of the clan, and he didn't take it up because he thought like the new generation should be the one to lead versus him. Even though it was pretty much made really clear that he was really strong, and he should have been the one leading. Uh, he stepped aside. I mean, he's like, okay, like he's got to be strong, and I mean, even beyond him saying that his secret to being the old master was the tonfa, the fact that it seems like every time that Okina hit Ayoshi, Ayoshi was like kind of taken aback a little bit by how fast or how strong he was, even at his age. He was like, so it wasn't just like the tonfa; it was like Akina still had a lot of strength in his old body. Unfortunately, again, he was old, which sucks.
Hmm.
But he was like, yeah, I guess that's the best way for him to go in a fight. That's how he would wanted to go.
Yeah, not like old age. You'd have to be nuts to die of old age.
I feel like living your life so like you couldn't live anymore is just as. But I mean, if you're a warrior and that's what you are, yeah, old age is gonna be like a death sentence already in and of itself because you won't be doing what you think that you are.
Yeah, I'd hate to be like a mentor and a leader to his people in his old age and well respected elder.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else to say. I don't think there is. None that I can think of. Okay, I guess with that we could move on to Dragon Prince.
Okay. Really good episode.
Yeah. I think I'm realizing what's really was my what the heck.
Sorry, I didn't mute it. I'm playing the episode in the background while we're talking about it.
Okay, I was losing my mind for a minute. I was like, Alexa, I didn't know I had that. I was like, when did I know I'm buying stuff, but I didn't. Jeff Bezos.
Speaking of Amazon, did you end up watching any more Vox Machina?
Oh, Dragon Prince. Good show. Good show. Good show.
Oh my gosh. I just watched the season 3 finale and it was pretty good.
I am happy that people are enjoying it. I'm sorry that I am the uncultured swine.
Visitor from Brazil, if you want to see more content on this show about Vox Machina, please leave a comment in the video.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
What
Not
if it
because I
does?
don't want it to happen, it's because it's never gonna happen.
If it does, would you start covering Vox Machina from one comment?
It has to be the person from Brazil. They have to be typing in from Brazil.
Other viewers, if you want to do it, just claim to be the person from Brazil.
They have to actually be the person from Brazil.
How are they going to prove it? You going to ask for like ID or something?
I'll go back into like whatever that website was to find out exactly if I can get the IP address. It wasn't like Vox Machina was bad. My attention span for it was not like there.
Yeah.
And that was the weird thing, and I couldn't explain. I still can't explain it either, because like there's a lot of shows I watched that have a really slow beginning first season. And it wasn't like I didn't like any of the characters. I mean, I watched a few and I was like, oh, they're kind of a merry old band. I don't know why my attention span for it just was not all that high. It wasn't like I was finding it boring. I just couldn't keep going, and it wasn't like I was not enjoying myself. Like, and maybe I have a time this year where I will blaze through the first season and come back to you like, oh, this wasn't bad at all. Actually, we'll watch the second season. I don't know. I haven't really been using Amazon Prime Video that much either. So like that's the other thing. It's like I haven't been spending a lot of time in Amazon Prime Video.
It's really hard to select Amazon Prime Video. If you don't already have it selected, it's really hard to get in there.
Listen, you.
I'm just trying to empathize with you.
I'm usually more watching shows on Netflix or Hulu. And I was using Hulu specifically to watch an anime that, for whatever reason, Hulu only has access to, which really irritates me. But whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess speaking of the future of this podcast, I don't know what's
really bothering you. Like, maybe you could just use Amazon Prime.
I pay for Amazon Prime, so I have access to it. It's just that I don't spend a lot of time in there. If anything, I don't really watch a lot of shows in there. For me, it's like if I was using it and I was already in there and I had finished the show and I was like, well, I could. I'm not actively using the app a lot of the time. That's really what it is. I mean, if I'm using Amazon, it's mostly to look through the catalog and buy something, which I've bought 2 things. Technically speaking, I bought 3 things. One of them hasn't really been bought yet because it's a pre-order. But other than that, it's like 2 things coming my way. But I'm not using video. Now, could I use video? Yes. I just don't think about it. Usually I'm in Amazon to buy something, and after that I leave. I'm not saying Vox Machina is bad. It's just my attention span. It's like, I really don't understand why. Because I intended to go back to it after I watched the episode, and this tells you how far back I am. I'm in the middle of the story arc with the guy with glasses, the guy with the plague doctor's mask. Like, I'm in his story. That's how far back I am. And I know that's where I'm at because I remember the last episode I saw revealed he had a sister that was still alive. And that was the thing that they revealed, so it's sticking.
So just spoil it for everybody else.
If you guys haven't watched that show, you're even worse than me. I said it.
I haven't spoiled the show for anybody in any way. I haven't mentioned a single event in the show.
I really wanted you to break your streak there and actually say something from the show. You can skip over that. And it wasn't like I was all that. I mean, I only said maybe one thing in that sentence that might have been a spoiler. But I mean, you wouldn't even know that was a spoiler if I'm gonna shut up now. But I'll just show them actually watching.
You're terrible about spoilers.
I think I've gotten better already. I think the only show that was probably really bad.
It's like,
I think the only show that was bad with was My Hero Academia, but that's because I really The problem is like certain animes, if I'm really really into them, and the anime season ends, I don't know it's gonna be another season, so I'm really impatient to try to find out there's another season. So in anticipation just of it not coming back, I go back and find the manga.
Yeah.
So it's like I was like that's like, but I think I've gotten better about it because like I'm watching several shows that I haven't read the manga for. I wish I could name any of them right now. Oh yeah, Bleach for instance. I haven't really. I'm watching Bleach right now. The final little arc that he has that he had a long time ago, but I haven't read anything because as I remember, if I recall correctly, that was the show that gave me a headache. The story was so confusing, and I dropped it after that point. I'm watching that to finish that story up because like I've been far enough removed from it now that like okay, I can actually enjoy actual story content that makes sense. Um, watching One Piece, well, on and off. That's one of those shows too that like I'm like I know I want to watch, but I was like I have spurts that here or there where I watch a lot of things at once, and typically One Piece may fall into that category at some point. I'm hoping to watch that more this year, and if I can, and if my attention span will allow me, Box Machina might fall in there. I'm not guaranteeing anything because every time I say I'm going to do something, I don't do it. So like just
What's your favorite Vox Machina character?
so far, if anything I've seen is the guy with glasses, the Plague Master, because the Plague Master dude. I don't know anything about him. His power set really confuses me, especially when he's got the Plague Master's mask on. It seems like he has a whole different set of powers all of a sudden.
Yeah,
So I don't know what's going on there.
there's a reason for that.
I suspect there's a reason for it. And I really wish my attention span would allow me to seek it out. I hate that. Every time it gets brought up too, I was like, well, I might as well go back and watch it eventually. I'm just not sure when. Like I haven't really committed to a date or whatever. I was gonna go back and watch it.
Right.
Probably wishes that I had watched it as it was coming out versus where I'm at right now, where there's a lot of the show out now, so I got to make time. Like, I'm glad everyone else is enjoying it. I'm glad that he keeps coming back out with new seasons. I'm guessing with the way season 3 ended, there's another season coming that you know of.
4 and 5 have not been confirmed yet, I think.
Wait, you already wait.
What?
There's already a fourth and fifth season. They're already thinking
No, they're
about
not.
them.
They haven't been confirmed yet.
But you
But
named
there's
you.
rumors about it though.
Oh, I guess because you listed them like you were aware that somewhere they were somewhere in the okay. I know it's doing well because people are enjoying it. I mean, there are some people on YouTube like reacting to the show. But I know it's doing well. You know, it just for me, it's like there's something wrong with me in this show that's not connecting. That and it's like it's not like it's a bad show. I'm not. I admit it's a good show. It's just man, like I really it's like some shows for whatever reason. If I'm told to watch it, no copyright, no copyright. No copyright. Or
Copyright.
a song kind of started playing, and I think I was gonna get copyright hit for. I had to like change
You're
it.
worried about the copyright strikes.
Huh?
You're so worried about that.
Well, I could lose my channel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be as clean as I possibly can with that. But I haven't gotten a copyright takedown yet, which is nice. I've had times when my videos were banned in other countries, and I had to remove whatever was in there that was causing them to ban it in other countries. Like, what in the world is wrong with you, YouTube? We're not gonna get into that though. So, again, really quick because we are on a time limit. So where do we start with Dragon Prince? Because as Spear said, this was a good episode. The episode title "Unfinished Business" was a pretty big deal throughout the entire episode. with Rayla, and then Terry at the end of the episode with the birds. I guess we can talk about Terry, like, and get that out, out in the air. Or Terry. I mean, really, just poor Terry. Like,
Do you think he lost his innocence in this episode?
I feel like that's what they were implying, but the way Terry was talking to Claudia, it sounded like he still had it.
He was at maybe a turning point where he could choose to keep it or not.
Yeah, I believe that.
I liked it. I agreed with his choice.
I mean, while I understand, I don't know. He's leaving Claudia in a situation where maybe she could still get her innocence back or whatever like that. Because it seems like Claudia, but then again, Claudia also had the issue with what she was telling him was completely contradictory to what was really going on. So maybe Claudia's a lost cause by this point. And it's probably been this way for a couple seasons now. I mean, Claudia has been an interesting character to follow throughout this entirety of this show, because okay, sickening plot, get out of here.
Sickening plot? What do you mean?
No, there was a bot that came in here.
Oh, okay.
It's actually kind of funny. Sickening plot just kind of came in here and tried to ruin things.
That was his name, Sickening Plot?
Yes. That was the name. Sickening plot.
What a bizarre name for a bot.
Huh?
What a bizarre name for a bot. I know they're just jamming two words together, but
I mean, it was actually really convenient with how it just popped in here and we're talking about anime.
yeah.
That was really cool. Not that I want that to happen again. You're gone, sickening plot. I had a thought. Okay, Claudia. It's been interesting following Claudia, because I remember when I first started the show, how I was very, I guess at a crossroads with her immediately when she showed up in the show, and was so very confused by her character, not knowing where to go. And I still feel that way, but it's like less so now, because it's like now she's making choices. She's lost a leg. Not that her choices have anything to do with the leg, other than maybe her dark magic, but she's making choices, But it seems like she's doing these choices out of the purity of thinking that they're for a greater cause. That's not bad. Like, her character's kind of going through some of the weirdest choices, and it's like it's clear that the creators are sticking with what she's done, but still keeping a purity about her with it. Like, where it's like she's obviously knows she's doing bad things, but she feels like she's doing it for the greater good, essentially.
And Erebos finally admitted that she was like a daughter to him.
Yeah, and his whole plan was to get her to feel like he was her father. But then Terry confronted him. I also like that Terry kind of just called him out, and he was like, "You're using people. You're not giving them the full truth and manipulating them so they make the choice that you want to make. You want them to make." I was like, wow, he flat out called out Erebos out on it, but then Erebos also said that it doesn't matter if you tell her now. She's already in too deep. I was like, wow, Erebos, you're just not even gonna be apologetic about it. You're just gonna be real. Also, what is up with Erebos' human getup? He's been in that form ever since he talked to Callum and tried tricking Callum.
I don't know. It seems like he's lame too. Like he leans heavily on the cane and limps around a little bit. I don't understand why he would have taken a form like that in front of them at least.
That's what I'm saying.
They know how strong he is. They don't need him to limp around and put up a show.
It just seems kind of strange because, like, I get Callum because Callum doesn't know what he looks like, so Callum can be fooled. But yeah. I feel like I thought he was gonna leave that form, but no, he's still in it. And it's clear that he's a human. He's pretending to be human because he's got 4 fingers and a thumb. If you look at his hand, he's got a full range of fingers, so he's pretending to be a human.
After going through all the possible elf forms, he picked human, which was weird.
It's one of the oddest choices he's made so far. I don't know what that's about. Um, uh, yeah, Terry's choice, and it did seem like Arrow was trying to like maybe have Terry lose his innocence, but Terry clung on to it, and then leaves Claudia. I think I have a little issue with him leaving Claudia there because like now it's just like I feel like Terry was the only thing keeping Claudia from going overboard. Now that he's gone, um, there's nothing stopping her from jumping the cliff, whatever that means or it's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes full dark magic. Well, Terry won't be there to stop her, or pull her back. Even though it seems like at the end of the episode when she's like wondering, after she grabs the Anime4All, turns to Arrows and says like, "Is all this really worth it?" It seems like Claudia might. There's still a bit of Claudia that might want to walk back, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like she will. And I don't know, like, and that's like where I'm very confused. It's like, well, like, where's Claudia gonna go from here? Could she turn back? Would she betray Erebos, knowing full well that she'll never see our father again? Even though, technically speaking, she'll never see him anyway. But knowing like she turns back on she turns on Erebos now, she'll never see her father in the in between. She'll lose another person in her life. Try to gain Terry back. Try. I mean, Terry feels like he was betrayed, which he was.
Yeah. I'm surprised he drew the line so clearly there. He was just like, we're gonna break up after like saying that he'd be there for no matter what.
I mean, Terry said to her that like it wasn't like it was it wasn't like he said this all blatantly. I could get the feeling that there were things that he would forgive because he loves her, but the fact that like the person that he thought would never try to use him. Let's be real. I mean, Terry's kind of being naive about like, you're using me. It was like, clearly he's been using you this entire time. I mean, I'm surprised you took this long to realize it. But like, leaving all that aside, he felt like I think he was really, really hurt. Which is like why he drew that line there, because he didn't want, like, basically he was right. He was like, if he lets her get away with this now, she'll do much worse things in the future to him, and he didn't want to be that guy or that person that lets everything slide. And
yeah, I mean, he's seen what she's done to other fairy creatures. That must be part of it.
I never considered her trying to kill him. Oh dear, that got dark really fast. Thank you, Jock.
What? He's seen her, like, how she treats other using things that, you know what I mean, like completely twists them and destroys them and kills them and everything else without like very much remorse or even it changing her personality at all.
I get all that, but it's just like you said that it never crossed my mind.
Oh yeah.
It never crossed my mind that maybe she would try to use him in a portion. I would hope she wouldn't. I mean, if I'm being real, and this is a naive, like, naivety, I know, but I'm gonna say anyway. I would hope that maybe Terry would be the line that she would draw, but I don't know. Just. But even with that all being said, too, it seems like Terry leaving her really caused her to start thinking about some things. It wasn't like Terry leaving her caused her to break down. She literally had, like, it almost seemed like she had a come to Erebos moment, like when after he had left and Erebos was wondering where he went. Which I guess another thing too. Do you think Erebos asking where Terry was genuine concern, or was he just playing along? Because he literally he came in, asked Claudia, and it seemed like one of those father asking his daughter, "Hey, where'd your friend go?" type of thing. Like maybe they heard a fight or whatever like that. They came in after a fight. It seemed like, to me, it's like he seemed to be almost genuinely concerned where Terry went.
No, I think he knew he was likely to be gone.
They think he was just playing along and with the role he needed to at that time. Then
Yeah.
okay, I just wanted to know because like, it was very confusing me when it happened. Like it really confused me when it was happening.
Claudia didn't seem mad at Erebos, which threw me off. Like, I feel like it was sort of a betrayal to tell Terry everything.
Yeah, that's true. I guess like that whole situation, like it like a lot of things kind of happened that shocked me. Terry leaving shocked
Mhm.
me, but not as much. Claudia not being a broken mess on the grounds also shocked me. As she, you know, he's like as you said before, he promised to never leave her, and she said that, but it didn't seem like she was like a broken mess like she was when you know her father died, or when her brother left her, or when her mother left her years ago that we never got a chance to see.
Right.
Like Claudia literally seemed like okay in the moment. And again, it was like when she had asked Erebus at the end of it, was all this worth it? To me, it seemed like there might have been a piece of her still there that was making sense. Just go back online. What the heck? Oh no, that's my bot. Never mind. Sorry, there's another message in my chat, and I was like, did I just go offline? I didn't see it. But it's just my bot. But yeah, Claudia asking was all is this really worth it? Asking Erebos, and it was like that's strange. And then, like you said before, she didn't flip out on Erebos after finding out that he told her, he told Terry the truth.
Yeah. Claudia is very difficult to track sometimes.
I, if anything, I feel like Claudia is the literal like personification of a crossroad. Like you come to a crossroad and you have to make a decision, and there's no good or bad. It's just a decision. Like if I had to person, like I feel like that's what Claudia is, or she's something of an enigma that they literally decided to put into the show and just see how she works.
Yeah. I mean, Terry could have been meaner too. He could have been like, "I'm taking my leg back."
I want to bring something up about that leg really quick, and I just want to say, I mean, was I the only one who thought this? I was like when he left her, did you think that leg was just gonna like turn into a tree root or whatever? What the heck it was before? Because I was thinking like, is he the reason why that leg works?
Mm-hmm.
I probably was like wondering, is it gonna turn into a root or something like that after a while? Like, was he the reason why it looked like the way it did? You know, why it kept its form and its shape? Like, a part of me is just like thinking like, are they gonna address that? Like, if that was a permanent thing? Oh, another thing too is like speaking of things that Terry did that kind of shocked me because Terry seemed like a pacifist. He actually attacked Erebos, but it didn't do much because Erebos shut his powers down. But he actually, because Erebos is going towards the mother bird that he was going to kill, and he just activated his powers to try to stop him, and Erebos just tossed his powers and turned him off. I thought it was interesting that Terry literally uses powers to attack somebody else for the most part. For the most part, Terry's been very, nice and very, very kind and docile to people. It didn't seem like he had like a really, and it wasn't like it was a violent attack. He just called roots up in the ground to stop Erebos. But to me, that's probably the most aggressive he's been this entire show. Trying to stop somebody with roots is like, I didn't think he had it in him to use his powers like that. If anything, I thought he was mostly just a creative person using his powers to make things, because that's what he did for the most part. He never tried using it on somebody else to stop them from doing something. Erebos is the first person he did that to, and it didn't work because Erebos is essentially a god in this universe for some reason. Apparently, can only be stopped by the Archdragon's bite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, now I'm thinking about it too. Isn't Erebos? I guess maybe he's not all that concerned because Terry's out there in the world now and he knows that knowledge. At first, when Terry left, I thought I was like, "Oh, is Terry gonna be gone from the show now? Is that it?" Now at the end of the episode, we see him carrying, taking care of the baby birds that he, accidentally made motherless.
Yeah, that was a very sweet moment.
So I'm guessing that means Terry is not gone. Like we'll see him again. I guess at some point eventually. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like half an episode of him feeding the birds worms.
Other half of the episode, gotta get that leg back.
I did wonder if that was gonna make. Did wonder if him taking care of the birds and raising them up would make the bird a bad ingredient because there was no unfinished business.
But no, because Arrows has the mother bird. She's the one with the unfinished business.
But what I'm saying is he's finishing its business.
But the mother bird don't know that.
Yeah.
I understand what you're trying to get at, but I said I don't think that matters. The mother bird, unless the mother bird knows that that's been going on. Now, but no, there's no evidence that people can interact with them in between in Azadia because that hasn't been seen or even been said. So yeah, there's that too. I guess speaking of unfinished business, a good majority of this episode actually was about Rayla and her unfinished business with her tribe and her being a ghost. And I guess we got a chance to see what that was all about. And I don't think it was revealed that there was a ritual done to make people not realize who she was. Did you know that? Was that information that was revealed to us at some point?
That there was information about what? I'm sorry.
No, like there being like a ritual done on Rayla to make her a ghost to everybody.
I wondered if it was just like magic that triggered automatically, like the one around her arm. That like almost cut off her arm, off her hand for her. Like the magic somehow knew.
I didn't remember. My thing is like I didn't know that there was a ritual done for that or whatever. I was honestly I thought it was one of those things like people just weren't allowed to look at her in the village or whatever like that. She walked in. I didn't know that it was.
It was clear to me that it was magical.
I must have missed a freaking info box when I was like watching this originally. But yeah, I mean it was very shocking to find out. Oh, but I guess another thing too is like the people that that she ended up abandoning when she ran away a long time ago. One of them being the son of the guy that she needed to gain forgiveness from was also kind of interesting too. I noticed that there seems to be a recurring theme of like forgiveness and getting past transgressions.
Mm-hmm.
And like in Terry's case, Terry couldn't for either Claudia or Erebos, and here Rayla needed to forgive herself for one. Her family already forgave her. They also brought the fact that somebody died. That's not right. And we got a chance to see Rurouni kind of looking like, huh, you're right. I for a minute there I thought maybe he was gonna go and say I'm gonna go and turn myself into Catalyst to fix all this animosity between us. And he could still do that. I don't know if he will or not. Now that he's come back with his beloved. Also, that was kind of interesting, kind of sweet, a little bit, where Renan came into his home, and his husband was like it was revealed that his husband actually had been seeing him for a couple of years now, coming into the house. I thought that was kind of sad. It was like, wow, you missed somebody that much that you start seeing their ghost, literally. And then when they actually do come back, you don't believe that they were really there because you've been seeing their ghost for so long, only for like the touch of that person to snap you out of it. Like that was actually kind of like that was really sad, and it was. I'm glad that like Renan got a chance to resolve all that. But like Rayla got her banishment permission revoked after a long long unnecessarily long bit of information from that dude talking about I'm not gonna forgive you. Okay, I'll forgive you.
Yeah, it was kind of that twist where he like changed his mind was a little bit too abrupt for me.
It wasn't that abrupt for me. It's just more like in hindsight. You know, if you were gonna not forgive her, you might as well just not forgiving her. You know, like I mean, Rayla pretty much just said that to you, and then you had a change of heart in the middle of those few words. So it's like, you don't really hate her. I gotta say, I liked his weapon, his moon scythe. That was a really nicely designed scythe. I'm gonna take that. I mean, what? Not really.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna steal a weapon design. That's horrible.
What did he say when he swung it and everything went black for a second? He said something. It sounded like boom. But I don't know why he would just say boom. At first, I thought he said boo, and I was like, "That's funny."
What? Like, when did he swing it? Where did he swing it?
Hang on, I'm checking. It was somewhere around like 2107.
I'll never see him again. Someone has to pay. You have to pay. He slammed down his scythe.
It just says grunt in the. Maybe he didn't say anything because it just says grunt in the subtitles.
So maybe he just made a noise.
Yeah, maybe he just made a noise. But the screen goes black. So, like, was that thing like magical or something? Like, why did the screen go black?
I mean, I think I'm about to get there. You know, I think that was just meant to be dramatic. I really think that was meant to be dramatic because I was done at a dramatic time, like at a tense moment. I was like Rayla trying to get unbanished.
Yeah.
Cause this is a long blank scene. What's going on? Yeah, cause like all of this is it goes black and then you see the pedal come down. So I gotta say, I never said this when this show first started, but mainly because my color for my channel wasn't matching this show at all. But the blues here are really beautiful. I guess you can call them beautiful. I'm sorry. I wouldn't leave, but this is my show.
Leaving shame from your own show.
But yeah, I love the color. Like they really, when it comes to blue really is really nicely done. Sometimes it's like it's not an aggressive color. It's very serene in some cases, depending on like how much blue or how deep the blue is. But yeah, it's really nice. I really do stand by that scythe though. Like that is, I've never thought, because I have a character that's kind of got a moon motif going on with her, but I never thought to use the crescent moon as the sickle part of the thing. So that was actually kind of interesting. Again, a character design we'll probably not see much of because the show's gonna end in 5 more episodes. Yeah, 5 more episodes, I think.
Yeah, it's winding down quickly.
Yeah, 9 episodes.
I don't know what's gonna happen. It seems like Arvos is gonna win.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like, isn't it? Consider the book is called Dark.
All the good guys are like in trouble, like with things of their own, like castles being ripped down, or their dragon attacked them back on them, like, or their people revolted. Like, not a lot of not a lot of people on their feet right now, or they're poisoned and they're like healing, like the Dragon Queen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's got problems of their own right now. They don't have enough. There's no one like put together enough to like challenge Erebos.
Yeah, Ezra's got his own thing with the kingdom, and like, let's see here. I just want to go back to really quick. We were talking about it, like Terry and Erebos. That's when I want to go back and read out like what he was saying to Terry back when he had revealed everything to him. He's like, a place where unicorns came to die. Like, how could he be so stupid? Man, the next line does not follow the last line all that well. It's like, how could I be so stupid? Claudia knew this. Did she? That he was that stupid. No, I know that's not what that's actually saying, but it's just like reading that out of context, back to back, is kind of really bad. But you know too. Erebos' human form is like really disturbingly good. I feel like he's used this before. Erebos like, I take no pleasure in your pain. I wonder if that's true or not. Yeah, he is like.
I think it is true. I think he would have rather like not created strife between him and Claudia by sending Terry away. I think he did it on purpose when he did it, but I think he wished it wasn't necessary. There was a lot of things about Terry that could have been useful for him.
Well, I mean, I don't think Terry's like officially gone. I mean, I still have hope that maybe, like right now, he's dealing with the baby birds. Like maybe when he's done with that and he's done his unfinished business with the birds, maybe he'll come back and maybe he'll try to more forcefully try to like remove Claudia from Erebos' influence, even if it's possible. Which I'm gonna go on a limb and say 75% nope, 25% maybe. I don't really have a definitely in my gut like saying Claudia could be removed from all that. She spent too much time with him at this point. It's kind of the same thing with Varen. It's like Varen spent too much time with like Erebos that like by the time Varen realized what was going on, it was too late.
Yeah.
He tried his best to like fix it, but you know, again, it was too late. But this was inevitable. The true heart is a gift of childhood. This is the kind of what I want to get to. The true heart is a gift of childhood. For a few wonder-filled years, we each have innocent eyes to experience the world's beauty in a simple way. Which I want to say, like, this is a really beautiful way of putting it. Because I've always felt this way in real life about, like, how, when you're growing up, like, the world looks differently. Like, it really freaking does. I don't know why the world looks differently to you as a kid, but it does. Like, you're not encumbered by a lot of the world's faults. You know, you can look at things purely as they are, and a lot of times that what as they are is just a really pretty thing. It isn't until you get yourself involved in, you know, the world that you start getting tainted, and like it doesn't become a problem until you're 18 years old. Like that's when like everything becomes immediately dark, and it's like, oh dear, what's going on? What happened? You shut off the lights. Like what? Why is everything so dark all of a sudden? Like, this is how I always felt, you know. But I can think back to a few times in my life when I was younger that like the world looked a lot brighter than it does now. Maybe I'm the only one, because I had brought this up to other people before, and some people don't agree with me. But I don't know. I just feel like there's something going on where like as a kid, like, and it might just be you don't have a filter as a kid, so like you don't filter this stuff out. You just kind of get hit and pelted with it. You gradually gain a filter as you get older, but it's like you don't. You're taking everything in purely just based off of first contact. I'm guessing I might be wrong based on the way Spear's not saying anything to me.
No, I don't think you're wrong. Why would I think you were wrong?
I know you haven't said anything, so I would just assuming the worst.
No, sir. Why would I think you were wrong, though? What's there to disagree with?
I don't know. Some people don't agree with that sentiment that I had because I brought it up before. I mean, I haven't brought it to anybody recently, but I definitely did in the past. But you know, it is what it is. Everybody has their own opinions, and that's just kind of where I always get like, hey, maybe you had a different opinion. I don't know. We each have innocent eyes to experience the world's beauty in a simple way. This part, like, really with Terry looking incredibly sad as he's being told this.
Mm-hmm.
And Terrestrius, you were lucky. It almost seems like Erebos like really was jealous of him that Erebos can't look at the world the same way again, and held that innocent wonder longer than most. I mean, some people will call that naivete, but we're gonna go with innocent wonder. And then this like Terry is just like, what are you saying? Nothing makes sense anymore. But as he's talking about this, as he's talking about the innocent wonder thing, he kind of starts panning back and forth to other characters. Ezran, at the castle with everything that's happened to him. Soren, well, as an example that we actually completely forget about. Soren had his innocence ripped away at a very young age, with the way his father treated him after he died and came back. And Soren still doesn't know this. Soren's father took that to his grave, literally.
Soren's father took it to his grave, literally.
But yeah, he took the secret that Soren died when he was younger, but he brought him back.
Yeah, that's a good point. But how does that bear on the innocence argument?
Well, it's the idea that Soren remembers the time when his father loved him unconditionally, and all of a sudden that changed. Soren doesn't have a point of reference for when that happened, and when he noticed that happened, his innocence started slowly draining away. At the same point as like his father, the way his father treated him, he couldn't look at things as genuinely as a kid would. An innocent person will look at. Nothing's bad. Soren pretends to be that guy, but in reality he isn't. And we see this when he's faced with his father alone. He can't even look at his father at all before he dies. Even after all that, Soren still weeps for his father's death. Like, as much as Soren doesn't want to, he can't really hate his father. I feel like that's also a part of the whole innocence thing where, a lot of people, and I can't say this for everybody, but some people, they grow up and their parents are horrible to them. But the one thing that we all have in common is that, our parents will die eventually. And I stand by the statement that I heard that kind of just rings true a lot of times, is that you can't hate somebody that much, or as much as some people hate their parents, without first loving them, because that kind of hate can't be born out of anything but love. Like, I truly believe that, because like you can only hate somebody that much if they betrayed you in any sort of way. Like you can't truly hate somebody without you first knowing them in the first place. Well, a lot of people, they hate their parents because they didn't get, something their parents did was horrible to them or whatever. I mean, I don't know the full details of everybody's relationship with their parents or anybody that's close to them in their life, friend, relative, whatever. People like the hate people sometimes have for somebody is easily born out of love first. And I do believe love begets hate. I guess that's where the whole idea of combating the cycle of hatred kind of comes from, is that people just, trying to move on and only hang on to the love part of everything and try to move on and be better people about it. Back to Soren though, it was like, I feel like, he was innocent as a kid, and then somewhere along the lines that innocence was taken away, and I'm pretty sure it happened when he was brought back to life. Or saved from near death. I'm not sure if he died, but I know he was near death when they talked about it. So my suspicion is that Soren was brought back to life, because I think he might have died when he was a kid because of his sickness. And based on the way he was talking about his symptoms too, I think Soren might have had tuberculosis. I think.
Why is that?
I seen the whole idea of somebody being weak-willed and being unable to breathe, whatever like that, and just falling. And it seems like a lot of times in anime they use that, and I know it's not all the time. That's tuberculosis. I can't remember what anime specifically had a situation where there's a character like that who actually had tuberculosis. Like it was never stated in the show, but you find out later on in the years that that's actually what they were emulating, was tuberculosis. So someone probably had something simpler. I'm not gonna say he had tuberculosis. I'm just gonna say he had something similar to it in that world, possibly. Whatever could give something similar to that.
That would make sense. Soren's kind of cursed with his health in that sense, that it came at such a cost.
But yeah, like the whole loss of innocence thing. At some point, something happened, and I suspect that his innocence was lost when he got brought back. And maybe it was lost much later. Who knows? But like, I have a feeling that, like, if they're using Soren as an example as somebody who lost their innocence at some point, and they decide to bring him in there, and as everyone was talking about it, tells me like, okay, Soren must have been a victim of this exact thing at some point in his life. And the only thing I can think about it is like, he can never look at his father. No matter what, anytime Varen was trying to apologize, Soren couldn't do it, and Varen could see the damage he did to him. And that was unfortunate, and I think that's part of the reason why I guess Varen thought maybe it was best that he didn't tell his son. I guess the circumstances behind him, like what happened to him as a kid. But it kind of makes me think, it's like, I wonder, like, does Claudia know that Soren was near death?
I don't think so. Why would she?
I don't know. It just seemed like I feel like maybe because like they were born near, because like they were alive at the same time. I want to say, were they, or am I assuming that?
Because I mean, they were alive at the same time, like they're alive at the same time right now. What are you talking about?
Well, what I mean is like back when Soren was sickly, was Claudia around? Because the magic that he used on Varen is the reason. I mean, the magic that Varen used on Soren was the magic that caused his wife to leave him. But like, well, with that information being said, like Claudia would have had to have been born by this point, because Claudia can't exist if she had left before she was made. So I guess that makes sense that Claudia was alive, but I guess maybe Claudia would have been too young at the time. I guess with the information, Claudia definitely does not know that, he was sick. Actually wonders, like, wonder if that whatever magic's keeping him from being that sick can that wear off. Because they also bring the fact that like Varen's old master just disappeared. Didn't say he died, just that he disappeared. And I realized we are over 11. That was completely by accident. And I'm surprised you kept me going, because you normally stop me. Okay.
I usually get kind of quiet and let you wind yourself out if I think if I think we're about to hit a deadline and we're past it.
Well, we're well past it, and I guess there's really not much more I can say. I think that was a good point to end off with the whole innocence thing. Really quick, also, just read one last thing. As this is going on, well, your heart will be a little heavier, and they literally show Soren just here. Well, I guess looking off in the distance. But they also show. Wait, that's weird. I thought I saw. Well, we see Ezra and Zim. Zim looks increasingly more worried as Ezra is doing all what he's doing. We see this the sun elf, queen and her brother as he's talking to. Don't know what that has to do with loss of innocence, but they're shown. You see the elf, brother in the darkness. But there's like stuff's the darkness that lurks in all of us beside the light.
Yeah, and he looks up like he's aware of the camera.
Foreshadowing. Or not, I have no idea. But then
We'll break the fourth wall there.
Probably. And then it's we see the sister, and she's like lying, and she's in the bed with her wife, and she's just staring up to the ceiling while he says there is no black or white, only shades of gray.
It was an interesting time for that because she's pretty white. I mean, black being evil and all that's wrong with humanity, and white being all that's good with humanity and successful and happy. She's
okay, with that, I'm going to end the podcast. I'm sorry to that one viewer in Brazil. I don't condone his hate speech. You can't tell I'm laughing. With that, we're going to end it here. See you guys next week.